Tyler Skaggs, Jane Kameen ONCEA, Getty Images. A former Los Angeles Angels employee was convicted Thursday of providing Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs the drugs that led to his overdose death in Texas. Eric K. was convicted 1 count each of drug distribution resulting in death and drug conspiracy. He faces up to life in prison when he is sentenced on June 28. Skaggs' widow, Carly, and his mother, Debbie Hetman, hugged as the verdict was announced. K took off his jacket and tie and was placed into handcuffs, nodding toward his family and friends in the courtroom. A 10-woman, 2-man jury revealed the verdict after deliberating for no more than 3 hours following an 8-day trial. K was tried in federal court in Fort Worth, about 15 miles from where the Angels were supposed to open a 4-game series against the Texas Rangers on July 1, 2019, the day Skaggs was found dead in a suburban Dallas hotel room. K's attorney, Michael Mulfetta, declined to comment after the verdict was read. A coroner's report said Skaggs, 27, had choked to death on his vomit, and a toxic mix of alcohol, fentanyl and oxycodone was in his system. The trial included testimony from 5 Major League players who said they received oxycodone pills from K at various times from 2017 to 19, the years K was accused of obtaining pills and giving them to players. K also used drugs himself, according to testimony and court documents. Pitcher Matt Harvey, who rose to stardom with the New York Mets nearly a decade ago, said he knew he was threatening his career by admitting to cocaine use in New York and California. Harvey, one of the players who said he received oxycodone pills from K but also obtained them for Skaggs, said he was subpoenaed and testified only because he was granted immunity from prosecution. Harvey is unsigned after pitching for Baltimore last season. In closing arguments, lead prosecutor Lindsey Barron said the government proved that K was the only one who could have given Skaggs the drugs that led to his death, that the delivery was in Texas and that fentanyl was the cause of death. The government argued K gave Skaggs counterfeit oxycodone pills that contained. Barron reminded jurors of the testimony of Harvey and fellow Major League pitchers Cam Bedrosian and Blake Parker, saying Skaggs' death scared them away from using oxycodone. Harvey testified the painkiller was commonly used in a league where players often face surgeries and deal with injuries. Blake Parker, "I had a flashback to 2017 and I thought it could have been me," Barron told the jury, quoting the pitcher. All of those people were 1 pill away from dying alone in a hotel room from a drug that Eric K gave them. Mulfetta said prosecutors didn't prove K gave Skaggs the drugs after the team landed in Texas on a flight from California, or that fentanyl was the sole. Mulfetta pointed to a whiteboard prosecutors said made their case. It was filled with magnetic tiles showing text messages between Skaggs and K, and departure and arrival times along with other elements from June 30 and July 1. Those tiles, these things they've put up there, they prove nothing but what's on the tiles, Mulfetta said. There are so many assumptions behind it. K served as the team's public relations contact on many road trips, and the trip to Texas was his first since returning from rehab. K was placed on leave shortly after Skaggs' death and never returned to the team. He didn't testify. Defense attorneys acknowledged K lied to police the day Skaggs was found dead by saying he hadn't seen him the previous night. One of his colleagues at the time, current Angels Director of Communications Adam Hojko, said K confided in him a couple of weeks later that he had been in Skaggs' hotel room. Hojko testified that K told him he didn't give Skaggs pills that night and declined an offer from Skaggs to do drugs in the room. Carly Skaggs testified she didn't know the extent of her husband's drug use, and would have tried to do something about it if she had. Hetman testified her son had issues with Percocet, a combination of oxycodone and acetaminophen, in 2013, but that he quit cold turkey at the time. Garrett Ramos, Skaggs' stepbrother, testified he couldn't remember the details of trying to help wean Skaggs off Percocet 9 years ago and denied deleting text messages from his phone at the police department in Southlake, the suburb where Skaggs was found dead. The medical examiner who conducted the autopsy testified there was a greater probability that fentanyl, which is significantly more potent than oxycodone, caused Skaggs' death. Dr. Mark Krause also said there was a reduced probability that alcohol and oxycodone caused the death. An expert for the government cited it was a near certainty fentanyl led to Skaggs' death.